Barbiere di Siviglia, written by Rossini, is absolutely a masterpiece, no doubt. And I really don't remember how many productions I already made. But honestly, I have to say, every time it's a different thing, every time it's a different journey, different trip, I can find out new details, new meaning, together with the stage directors, with the singers. I mean, every time it's something different. That's why I love my work, and that's why I love this opera. When the theater asked me, I should have talked about Barbiere. I said, my answer was, oh, wow, great deal. It's how many days I have? Because the subject is really, really very, very, very rich. And of course, we don't have so many days, just a few minutes. So I want to start trying to make you to think about the difference between opera buffa and commedia dell'arte, which is for me the most important thing while considering this great masterpiece as Barbiere di Siviglia. For example, other Rossini's great opera is Italiani in Algeri. I think that's the perfect example of opera buffa, in which every singer, every characters are moved, are treated as a crazy puppet from the beginning till the end. Not only in the first finale, in which the words become sound, boom, 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 crack, crack, ta, 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 boom, 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 something, everybody gets crazy. But in the whole opera, they don't change. They are crazy puppet. In Barbiere di Siviglia, a lot of things change, because what's commedia dell'arte? What does it mean? I'm not saying that Barbiere is a serious opera, of course it's not. But we have to consider a huge box in which have to coexist different color, moods, so many different situations, and so many different theatrical situations. You can find funny things, you can smile, you can laugh, you can find very violent moments, very dark, sharp, bitter. All these aspects made in the history Barber a masterpiece. In Italy we have a saying, I don't know if it's possible to translate, the short blanket. So if we consider Barbiere commedia dell'arte, how could we consider the finale primo, in which everybody got crazy? Mi pare ser colate. The singer, I forced them to sing really, really legato, sottovoce, because the orchestra has completely different character. Boom, pa, pa, ting, boom, pa, pa, ting, just like a machine. And this finale always reminds me the wonderful scene in which Charlie Chaplin is crushed by the machine, you know? So, this is just like Italiani in Algeri, the finale. Everybody drove crazy. But if we think how Rossini built any character, we can understand they really belong to commedia dell'arte. So, in a few words, Barber doesn't belong 100% to opera buffa, it doesn't belong 100% to the opera seria, but somehow it overcomes both of them. Let's think about each character. We already saw the finale primo, crazy puppet. Who is Rosina, the female protagonist? Before giving her love, she wants to know who is the Count, who is Lindoro, who is him, who is the boy. She wants to know his social status, if I can say that. She wants to know how how much money he has. So immediately she shows her strong character. Who is Figaro? The cavatina, everybody knows. The orchestra anticipates the principal theme. He just sings la 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 lero, tra la la, ta 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 pra ti ra ta ta ta. The orchestra first play. Why? Because we have the audience has not to be distracted by understanding who is Figaro, the homo novus, the self-made man. He thinks to be the smartest one, but in fact he creates only problems. Who is the Count? Maybe he's not smart as Figaro. That's why he never understands anything immediately. That's why Figaro, oggi arriva un reggimento, è mio amico il colonnello, ok, e poi cospetto. When Figaro says cospetto, he gets angry, disappointed. Oh my God, how can't you understand? So maybe the Count is not so intelligent as Figaro, but the Count is the only one who solves the situation. Why? Because he's rich, because he's powerful. Don Bartolo. Who is Don Bartolo? Don Bartolo, the tradition made this role very funny. I don't agree. Funny is the situation in which he finds himself. But Don Bartolo is a doctor. He's a boss, so well respected by the society, by the community. That's why he had the brevetto di esenzione. What does it mean? It means that he was allowed not to host the soldiers. So the Figaro's idea, ubriaco mio signor si fingerà, so I want you to become drunk so you can enter in Don Bartolo's house, was maybe the only great Figaro's idea. But they didn't know who is Don Bartolo and his aria. Signorino un'altra volta quando Bartolo andava fuori, signorino un'altra volta quando Bartolo andava fuori, le consegne di vittoria sopra. It's just maybe the first rap in the music.
Signorino un'altra volta quando Bartolo andava fuori, signorino un'altra volta quando Bartolo andava fuori, le consegne di vittoria sopra. Signorino un'altra volta quando Bartolo andava fuori, signorino un'altra volta quando Bartolo andava fuori, le consegne di vittoria sopra. Not
because he's stupid, because he really got angry when you have your blood here. I have to say the singers are really, really great. Who is missing? Don Basilio. So, that's what I told the Herbert Fritsch, the stage director. If we have a chance to show really and finally that Barbiere is not opera buffa but commedia dell'arte, for me it's Don Basilio's scene. Because in this, it's the only dark and violent moment. The tradition killed this moment because made it funny. But the famous music, the famous crescendo, the strings are playing al ponticello, so the sound, it's really very sharp, very bitter. Exactly the same music, this music, Rossini wrote for Otello, when Otello was killing Desdemona. So I think that this music is not so funny. With this metallic sounds, full of tension, full of anger, full of jealousy in Otello. Here, Don Basilio, he's an artist. And while singing the Calunnia, he's just excited because Calunnia is the new generation's strongest arm.
Terra, sottovoce, sibilando, va scorrendo,
But all that scene, we shouldn't forget that two people are thinking together how to destroy another one, their enemy. So, in a few words, for me, this opera is just like a lot of pictures at an exhibition. We have not to find a fil rouge between them. Every scene has its own character, its own color, mood, and that's it. That's why he's a masterpiece. That's why every time we are never bored to play, to conduct, to sing, and I'm sure to watch this opera. Herbert Fritz's idea, I really liked. We don't have scene, we don't have prompts, nothing than nothing, just acting. And for sure, with these singers, great singer, it could work very well, because all the rest is already in the music. We have just to find out, just to put all these great defense in evidence. For example, the finale primo, yam, pam, pa pam, pararam, military. The Count, Lindoro, is drunk, is supposed to be drunk. If I decide to play differently the military theme, yam, pam, pa, pam, just playing it a bit longer, yam, tararam, pararam, tararam, and I have a hiccup because he's drunk. Do-do-do-dum. The military character doesn't disappear, he's already in, but I add another one. That's the way I work. Or let's think about another thing I always loved in this opera, Conte d'Alma viva. The Count is a count only at the beginning, ecco ridente in cielo, and when he just shows who I am. And of course at the end with a great rondeau. But the first aria, ecco ridente in cielo, spunta la bella aurora, e tu non dormi ancora, lo stral che mi tradisce. He uses a very rhetoric language, very poetic. After, he will change the way to speak because he will use a very easy and normal language as Lindoro. It's a little detail, but believe me, little details make the opera great. Rosino, we have not to forget that who she will become, the Countess. But the very beginning, taram, taram, I mean, she's not Arsace. She's not the queen of somewhere. Yaram, taram, taram, just like a caress. But the way she pronounced a lot of words, from that you could understand who she is. Ma se mi tocca dove il mio debole, there is accent written. Not every singer did it. Sento troppo. So, okay, I'm nice, but don't make me angry. So, now we really need not only good singer, because voice is not enough. We need a good actor and great singers, but above all, great musician, because there is a huge difference between a good singer and a good musician. Good singer can sing well the notes. Good musicians use the well-sung note to make theater. That's the great difference. The Count, as I told, changed his language. He really changed his real status as a king and Lindoro, because she wants her to love him, not because he's rich. And we know. Figaro, he's proud of himself. He's full of ideas. He really wants to manage with everything. The point is that he creates problem. So Figaro is always ego. He always put himself first, you know? That's Figaro. If I think who is the principal character, the Count, the original title was Il Conte di Almaviva, ossia l'inutile precauzione. So the Count, above all, with the final rondeau, he's really the main character. Not only because he sings really a lot, but because he solved any situation. All of them. And what about Don Bartolo? Figaro has a duet with Rosina and with the Count. But Don Bartolo is really the engine, rhythmical engine. And he sings not less than Figaro. Why do we do it, the final rondeau, and why he was always left? Because we have the best singer. It's easy to answer. During this aria, everybody stopped. The chorus, all the other singers. It's just the final moment for the Count. If you sing this aria 85%, which is a great percentual, it's better not to do it. You have to sing 100%. So this aria should be the final fireworks. If these fireworks are just a bit wet, it won't work. Rossini always started from the melody and from the deep character beyond the notes. That's why Rossini copied himself so many times. But we can find the same notes, but never the same theater. Never. That's why his music is so still so misunderstood. It's so deep. That's why the example I made before, in Don Basilio, the tradition made this music happy. But he wrote exactly this music during a murder. And this music is full of anxiety, full of drama, full of anger. That's why Rossini's music is considered abstract, because it has no sex, it can't belong to one situation, and that's it. We are still very grateful to the Rossini Renaissance, which exploded, I think 50 years ago in Milan, Alberto Zeda, critical edition, Claudia Abbado on the podium, and what happened? They discovered a completely a new composer, closer to Mozart. So they cleaned the music, which was played too heavily, and sometimes with the wrong character. So we understood how this music is light, but it doesn't mean superficial. At the same time, is light, transparent, and so deep. Because this is Rossini's way to create life, to talk about life, to talk about human relationships in a very classic way. But it doesn't mean that this music is light or superficial. Should be light the way to play, not heavy, always sparkly, playing with colors, with dynamics, but the meaning behind the notes is always so deep. And don't forget that after writing Guillaume Tell, he stopped writing, not because he was sick. That's absolutely fake news. He wasn't sick. After, he will be sick. Why did he stop? Because he wanted to stop to write. Because he didn't like the new way to write music, the romanticism, in which there was need to put on the score, on the scene, the real life, the real emotion. But Rossini's filter, Rossini's lens was completely different. He always preferred to show the life filtered by his personal lens than taking a picture of the real life. What's Belcanto? For me, Belcanto is not a period, it's a way to make music together, listening to each other. So, I'm a basketball fan, you know? So we are used to say when you play at home, the public is the sixth player. Okay, Barbiere, how many characters has Barbiere Siviglia? 7? Okay, the orchestra is the 8th one. Because the orchestra never accompanies. The orchestra has to sing together. That's why it's very important to take care of every detail. So the orchestra has to sing together with the singer. So the connection between pit and stage, that makes the magic.